3, 2, 1. Hi, I'm Michael Scott.
This show has a bad first season.
Keep the camera steady, please.
It fails. Audiences aren't interested. People do not like this guy. The numbers are bad. The show is canceled, and we never see Michael Gary Scott again. You might have no clue just how very close this reality was to becoming your reality. Because half of those sentences are still true. And then a movie gets filmed. The writers have an epiphany and everything changes. And it kind of happened twice. That's right, 2 times in the show's run. But let's start with
Michael! Oh, that's funny. Michael!
this part has been talked about many times, but season 1 of The Office was as close to a disaster as it could get. And it was mostly thanks to Michael. The Office started far too focused on bringing this version of the show to America. It misunderstood its audience. The mean-spirited, dry humor wasn't landing in Scranton for too many people. And as Brian Baumgartner put it, we were almost canceled 2, 3, 4, 10 to 12 times. He wasn't kidding. Michael was too stupid and too mean, and as a result, was disliked by the characters of the show as well, and in turn, the audience. He's in a room full of normal, everyday people, so they become the voice of the viewer. So 6 episodes, and then the lights out. And the first of 2 miracles happens. Kevin Riley, an NBC exec, loved The Office. He fought for it after those 6 episodes, and part of why was this. What if 40-Year-Old Virgin works? It did. And somehow this miracle would happen again, but we'll get there. After the first season, Michael Scott became a movie star. And somehow, that's not the part that really mattered. 40-Year-Old Virgin was a massive success, raking in 7 times its budget, becoming one of the most reviewed comedies of the decade, and taking Steve Carell from being the Daily Show guy to universally recognizable star. And sure, it helped that suddenly NBC really liked the idea of more Office. But that's not what mattered. What mattered is the writers learned from this character. Showrunner Greg Daniels and writer Paul Feig have talked about the changes, and so have others. But if you feel like season 2 of The Office is a different show completely from season 1, it is. It's been touched on by myself actually already, but we'll just get a quick grasp. Suddenly, Michael was more like this guy. They fixed his appearance, step 1. No more slovenly Mike. Next, the writers realized he had to be competent for the show to last long term. So, he failed upward now. Episodes were no longer allowed to end unless there was hope at the end of them. That was the next step. And as Michael Shores stated, the employees and other characters had to be 1/10 nicer to him than before. If they don't like him, we wouldn't. A movie might have saved a character. And somehow, it's about to kinda happen again. They made a similar mistake twice. Mistake's a weird word here because this one was on purpose.
Angela, are you hearing words that I'm saying?
What?
Hello.
Andy Bernard was never supposed to be a permanent fixture of the Office cast. The plan was always for him to leave. When the branch merger happens and Stanford employees start to get picked off one by one, Andy is just another face waiting in line. And so he's awful. He's built as a typical TV villain. He accomplishes a lot in his first run on the show. He often provides humanity to Dwight that is sometimes lacking. He plays direct foil to the Office hierarchy. Most importantly, he views the Office differently than the other employees. He provides a different version of the same thing early Ryan did. Educated ambition beyond Scranton. A different texture, a funhouse mirror held up to the comfortable status quo being kept by the other employees in their lives. And then his time finally came. Jim's pièce de résistance, a cell phone in the ceiling, an a cappella ringtone. Boom. He didn't punch this hole because he finally lost his mind. He punched this hole because it was time to go film this.
Who are you?
I don't know, Phil. Apparently, I'm a guy who marries complete strangers.
The whole bunch was just an excuse to write Andy off of the show so he could become a dentist and lose a tooth. People weren't tuning into The Office for Ed Helms. At the time, much like early Carell, he was a relative unknown to mass audiences. And so, the story somehow repeats. The Hangover is an even bigger, more colossal R-rated comedy success, over 12xing its budget and bringing in $500 million and making its leads. This one included massive global overnight superstars in a way that even 40-year-old Virgin didn't. And suddenly, Ed Helms was very much desired as a permanent cast member on The Office. But there was a problem. His character, much like Evil Michael, wasn't going to work long term. And so there the writers were again, fixing Andy Bernard, toning down his anger, literally putting him through anger management, giving him emotional grounding, and writing him into the canvas of The Office instead of just making him a temporary onlooker. An R-rated comedy had, in a way, saved another Office character. Ed Helms' new star power encouraged NBC and the writers to amp up his screen time. It likely strengthened NBC's confidence in the show as a whole, and it surely brought more casual eyes to the show from film-going audiences, and importantly, younger audiences. Now, you might think I'm saying all of this to say, oh wow, look how interesting this is for The Office. I might think that. But I'm actually more interested in something else. Well, two things, I guess. R-rated comedies are essentially going extinct. Studio confidence in big budget funny pictures is disappearing in favor of big IPs and unoriginal crap. But I'm here to argue that losing the R-rated comedy has bigger ramifications. These movies are vehicles. We're losing stars, we're losing comedians, maybe we're losing shows. Shows that could survive when a new comedian gets a chance, a vehicle, or real interesting, off-centered movie stars like Helms or Carell that won't get a chance in other genres, or a camera to make you laugh with. And it speaks right back to The Office. We are in the world of streamers and studios canceling and shelving anything and everything before it's gotten the chance to even be good or know what it is. The Office is proof that all sorts of things can change if you give them any time to grow at all, from an art, television, or film perspective. Let things live. Let these movies see the screens. These shows get more than 6 episodes. Not everything can be The Office right away. But remember, The Office wasn't The Office right away either.
It's really incalculable.
That is it for today's episode. If you enjoyed this one, press the like button down below. If you haven't yet done so, hit subscribe so you don't miss anything coming to the channel. And as always, this has been